Hey, what's up, everybody? Coming back with another quick emergency pod, which was requested by Kamish. So, unless you've lived under a rock in P-Town fantasy football, uh, we have some people that are addicted to making trades. And when it comes to trade addiction, that's a serious matter. And if you have a trade addiction, I suggest that you go see some help. Contact BetterHelp. No, I'm kidding. So anyway, man, there was a lot of movement. Not gonna lie to you guys. There was a I hate not gonna lie to you guys. I'm not gonna say that the rest of the show. Promise. 15 minutes tops. You will not hear me say not gonna lie again. And if I do, we'll talk about it. But this morning, we forgot around what time. There was a simple, harmless text that Dylan threw in the chat around 8:47 about Jamar Chase's baby mama, which was pretty solid. And then Marquise kind of said, Riley, you getting paid to try to cuck me? And I was like, all right. I don't really know what's going on with that one. But then, right then, boom, first trade happened. Sent the little trade logo in the chat. And then I kind of just went ghost. But this trade, a lot of people had opinions on it. And I'm going to go grab my screenshot because it's not showing up in the trades section of the app. But we had an attempted trade, which was vetoed, mind you, by the league. And that was going to be between the Beefcakes, the #1 team in the league, trading to Ruggs Driving School. The proposed trade was Broward County Beefcakes gives up David Njoku, tight end, Cleveland. I think if I read correctly, he's number 8 in the league. And then Ruggs Driving School would be giving up Kenny Walker. I'm not good with names. I don't know the names. Either way, running back on Seattle, right? Looking at it from a surface level, very high up, they were fine with making the trade. They were ready to go ahead and rump and make the trade. It benefits both parties because it kind of suits a need. Seems like the Beefcakes probably had a little surplus there at tight end. I think they've been rocking the two tight end roster for a while. Let me just double check that. Don't want to be spewing out random bullshit to you guys without really double checking my stats here. So you got, well, I was wrong. I could have sworn I saw that he was rocking double tight ends in the lineup, but all good. Either way, a lot of people had opinions about this trade. It wound out getting vetoed, and Ruggs Driving School had a lot of opinions on it, calling people pussies for crying, calling people, what are y'all scared of, and everything like that. Beefcakes are #1. We should have probably looked at it from the angle of like, hey, Beefcakes are giving up Njoku. Solid. That probably leaves an opening for somebody else to move on up. Other thing about it, though, is that you got to look at Ruggs Driving School currently where they're sitting in the standings right now. They are just out of the playoffs, dropping one spot right now to 6. So they're trying to make moves. But that didn't deter the trade addicted Ruggs Driving School. So if we go back to the league trades, we had 3 more trades go through today, and we did have one that went through with the Beefcakes and Ruggs Driving School. The Beefcakes received Drake London, wide receiver from Atlanta, currently ranked number 27, for the 8th ranked tight end David Njoku. So that one did go through. Again, a lot of people thought that this trade was probably a little bit worse than the first one that was actually put through. At the end of the day, I didn't give a shit. I'm like, it's fine. Let it go through. If they want to make it run, our team should be well equipped enough to be able to handle something like this. You know what I mean? So then that happened. Later on in the day, we had another trade. The trade addicted Ruggs Driving School made a deal with his brother. No Flockin. Some say it's collusion. Some just say they're trying to help a brother out. And who really knows? And who's really one to say? The trade there, we had Ruggs Driving School receiving Chris Godwin from No Flockin, trading away Kenny Walker, that running back he just received. I'm sorry. Yeah, Kenny Walker gave him up. Didn't really want it. So now we've got Chris Godwin hanging out on Ruggs Driving School with No Flockin. So again, Chris Godwin is hanging out at the 74th ranked wide receiver in the league. Kenny Walker the third hanging out at 52. So if we're looking at it again, hindsight 2020, this trade made a little bit more sense than the first one for David Njoku. And I get the Beefcakes are kind of loaded up at tight end because he just put in Higbee into his roster. Who knows, man? So that was the second one. That was about 6 hours ago. I'm recording this at just about 8 o'clock at night on the 12th. So then beefcakes and no flocking. They ain't done, boys. They ain't done. We're looking at it. We had Michael Thomas and Kareem Hunt. So no flocking traded Kareem Hunt to the beefcakes. No Flockin received Michael Thomas. So looking at rankings here, Michael Thomas, the number 41 ranked wide receiver, currently questionable. Let's see what's going on with his status real quick, if there is any sort of updates. So if we're looking at it here for Wednesday, the 12th, this probably played into the trade decision, by the way, boys. Michael Thomas did not take part in practice Wednesday. There's no telling when Michael Thomas will make his first appearance at practice, since hurting his foot in week 3. And he's not the only banged up wide receiver on St. Louis. Chris Olave, my boy, still sitting in concussion protocol. Jarvis Landry with an ankle injury, Deontay Hardy with a foot injury, joining Thomas as non-participants to kick off week 6 prep. So nothing really surprising there from those 3. The surprising move was getting Michael Thomas. Now, when he's on the field, he's good. And I think No Flockin is trying to put himself in a position to get back, because we talked some shit last night on the weekly recap show about how he dropped out of the rankings. And currently you're looking at it just outside at number 5. Just outside. So he's trying to position himself to make a run deep in these playoffs here. So let me go back to the little trade machine that I got going on here. And looking at Kareem Hunt for the Beefcakes, let's take a look at that really quickly. If I can go to the Beefcakes roster, they don't need anybody. They're riding high. They're 5-0. RJ is an absolute fiend in our league, boys, and he's riding hard. I probably shouldn't have said that. Either way, he's here, he's making trades, and he's ready to rock and roll. So if we're looking at it, Michael Thomas is currently in one of his starting wide receiver slots, projected 12 points this week. Yeah, projected 12 points this week. Big day for trades, my friends. Big day for trades. We had a 3-way trade between Ruggs, Beefcake, and No Flockin. At the end of the day, a lot of things were said, including talking about the punishment for who comes in last place. Now, I'm all for having a punishment for the last place team, boys, but we're not going to do anything illegal, and we're not starting an OnlyFans. That's my only request. All right. So at the end of the day, we have 3 trades I went through, one of them being vetoed. Beefcakes received Drake London from Ruggs Driving School. In exchange, Ruggs Driving School got David Njoku. Next trade, we had No Flockin receiving Kenny Walker, with Ruggs Driving School receiving Chris Godwin. Turn around, and then Beefcakes are now receiving Kareem Hunt from No Flockin, and in turn, No Flockin receives Michael Thomas. I'm going to put a poll on this podcast if y'all listen on Spotify. If not, put it in the comments on the YouTube channel. Big day for trades. Big week coming up. Big week coming up. A lot of movement could potentially happen in the top 6 teams. So, what's today? Wednesday? Thursday Night Football coming up tomorrow. Big opportunity to make some changes to the rosters. Good luck on Sunday. And that's your emergency pod. Peace.